Dear child, please take a deep breath and receive this gently. You were guided here for a reason. This is not random, and it is not by chance. Heaven is very close to you right now, and there is a truth being whispered about your life, your heart, and your love that is meant to bring clarity, peace, and reassurance. Something sacred has been seen in you. Not something you were trying to show, not something you worked to display. Something deeper, something pure, something holy. Your future partner noticed a beauty in your spirit that you yourself may have forgotten you carry. It wasn't your appearance, your words, or your effort. It was your essence, the quiet strength you hold, the way you keep going even when life has been hard, the way you love without needing applause, the way you stay kind when you've had every reason to close your heart. When they saw this, it shook them. It stopped them in their tracks. Their heart reacted before their mind could catch up. Something inside them said, "This is different. This is rare. This is real." And from that moment on, they have not been the same. They didn't fall in love in a shallow way. They didn't feel a passing attraction. What they felt went straight to their soul. They saw your scars and didn't judge them. They saw your silence and felt your depth. They saw your endurance and recognized holiness in it. They realized you are not like most people they've met. You carry peace. You carry light. You carry something that feels like home. Since that moment, they have been restless. They've tried to stay calm. They've tried to distract themselves. They've tried to reason their feelings away. But when something is real and God touched, it doesn't leave you alone. It follows you. It wakes you up at night. It shows up in your thoughts. It calls your name in quiet moments. That's what's been happening to them. They think about you more than they admit. Your presence lingers with them even when you are not there. Your words replay in their mind. Your energy stays with them. And what makes this even stronger is that you didn't try to impress them. You didn't perform. You didn't force anything. You were simply yourself. And that is what undid them. They noticed how you keep showing up even when you've been hurt. How you stay soft in a world that tried to harden you. How you stayed faithful, quiet, and grounded when others would have given up or grown bitter. They found that beautiful, not surface-level beautiful, but soul-deep beautiful. Now they are trying to build courage. Loving someone like you feels big to them, not because you are intimidating, but because you matter, because you are not replaceable, because they know this is not something to handle carelessly. They are afraid of getting it wrong, afraid of approaching too soon or too lightly, afraid of losing something that feels divinely given. They have talked to God about you more than once. They have asked for confirmation, but the confirmation already came in how their spirit responded to you, in how peace followed your presence, in how their heart softened around you, in how they couldn't forget you even when they tried. You may feel unseen at times. You may feel like you are always the one who notices beauty in others while your own goes unnoticed. But heaven wants you to know this. You are seen, deeply seen, and not just by angels, but by the one whose heart is being drawn toward you. Even if they are quiet right now, their silence is not indifference. It is care. They are trying to be ready. They are letting God heal them, mature them, and prepare them because they understand that you deserve something real, something safe, something lasting. They are changing because of you, planning, praying, asking God for guidance. They don't want a temporary connection. They want something meaningful, something rooted, something true. And they know that what you carry is too precious to rush or mishandle. If you have felt forgotten, invisible, or overlooked, let this message settle into your heart. You are not forgotten. Your light is reaching further than you know. Your name is echoing in their spirit. Your presence has awakened something holy in them, and it cannot be undone. They are thinking about you even now, wondering if you feel it too, wondering if the timing will open, wondering if they will get the chance to speak, to move, to step forward. And heaven is already at work, arranging moments, aligning paths, softening hearts. You don't need to try harder. You don't need to become more. You don't need to prove anything. What drew them in was who you already are, your authenticity, your endurance, your quiet faith, your gentle strength. This connection is not ordinary. It is not rushed. It is not shallow. It is being handled with care because it is sacred. What God reveals, He also protects. What is meant for you will not pass you by. What is real will not fade. So rest in peace. Stay grounded. Stay true to yourself. Trust that what has been seen cannot be unseen. The shift has already begun. Movement is already happening. Even if it's slow, it is steady. Even if it's quiet, it is real. You are not waiting in vain. You are not loving in vain. You are not hoping in vain. Heaven has seen you, and so has the heart that is being drawn toward you. Your love is not temporary. It isn't something that can be erased by time, routine, or distance. It feels like it was written into the deepest part of your soul, like a truth that existed before you even had words for it. Life can bring delays, confusion, silence, and long stretches where nothing makes sense on the outside. But something inside keeps whispering the same message. This is real. This is deeper than what you can see. This is bigger than what fear tries to convince you of. When your soulmate woke up, the night hadn't fully left them. It was like the air still held a restlessness, like a breeze that refuses to disappear. The world moved forward like normal. The day came with its responsibilities, its demands, its pressure to be okay and be productive and act normal. But none of that could weaken what they feel for you. If anything, the routine made it clearer, because when someone is truly in your heart, everyday life doesn't distract you from them forever. It only shows you the empty spaces where they belong. And with every new morning, instead of fading, the love grew stronger, not louder in a dramatic way, but deeper in a steady way, like certainty sinking further into the bones. They feel that this journey has meaning, not just the meaning of romance, but the meaning of purpose. They sense that something is being shaped through this connection. Something is being taught. Something is being refined in both of you. Even if the distance exists, even if circumstances are not perfect, even if time feels slow, they still believe in you. They believe in the force that keeps pulling you back toward each other. They believe that your story is still being written, even in silence, even in separation, even in moments where you doubted. They believe that every thought is a thread, every heartbeat is a signal, every unspoken promise is still alive somewhere in the universe, still moving, still building towards something. And you, on the other side, may have felt something you couldn't explain. a tightness in your chest, a restlessness that had no clear reason, a strange sense of presence, even when you were alone, like your spirit kept waking up, like your heart kept listening for something that wasn't an accident, not in the language of spiritual love, not in the language of deep bonds. It felt like a call, like your soulmate's love reached outward and brushed against your inner world. It felt like proof that the connection isn't only physical, it's energetic, it's emotional, it's spiritual. It moves in ways the mind can't always explain. When your soulmate struggles with sleep, when love overflows and becomes too big to contain, it's like the universe responds. Their heart becomes a transmitter. Their longing becomes a message. Their devotion becomes a signal. And you feel it, even if you don't understand why. You feel it without words. You feel it without evidence. You just suddenly feel something. Something shifts inside you. Something recognizes the bond. Because real connection has a way of waking you up. It has a way of tapping the part of you that can't be fooled by logic alone. So the message is asking you not to fear the intensity of this love. Don't run from it just because it's strong. Don't shrink it just because it's unfamiliar. Don't treat it like a problem that needs to be explained away. Accept it as part of who you are, as part of something grand and unchanging. True love does not settle for less. It doesn't want to stay in the background forever. It desires to cross time. It desires to challenge distance. It desires to overcome uncertainty. It desires to become presence, not just a feeling. It desires to become life, not just longing. This feeling wasn't born to be only a memory. It wasn't meant to remain a secret ache. It wasn't meant to stay trapped in imagination or hidden in silence. It wants to be lived. It wants to be felt fully. It wants to become real, without limits and without half-love. And that is why your soulmate keeps holding on. They aren't holding on because they enjoy waiting. They are holding on because they know the pain of doing nothing would be worse than facing their truth. Every sleepless night, every anxious thought, every moment where their mind goes back to you is, in their heart, another step closer to the day when nothing can separate you. Last night, love for you moved through them like a storm they couldn't stop. Their body wanted rest, but their mind refused to quiet. Every time they closed their eyes, your image appeared like it was carved into their soul. It didn't matter how far away you are. It didn't matter how many miles stand between you. You felt close. You felt near. You felt within reach, like you were only one breath away. It was like your energy hovered around them, comforting them, calming them, but also making the longing impossible to ignore. Because sometimes comfort without closeness creates an ache. It's like being held by the idea of someone you love, while still craving the reality of them. They wondered if you felt it too. They wondered if, somewhere in your night, you suddenly felt a shift, if your heart pulsed stronger without explanation, if your mind drifted toward them without you choosing it. Because this isn't ordinary love. It doesn't fit neatly into words. It doesn't obey logic. It doesn't accept barriers as permanent. It simply exists, immense, overwhelming, and unapologetically real. As the night went on, they surrendered to it. They stopped fighting. They stopped trying to be rational about something their soul already understands. They accepted that this feeling is not just a choice. It is essence. It is destiny in the way it keeps returning, the way it keeps calling them back, the way it gives meaning to their heartbeats. And that night, even breathing felt heavier, because absence has weight. Missing you wasn't just emotional, it felt physical, like everything inside them cried out for you. But even inside the ache, they smiled, not because they weren't hurting, but because they knew what you have is rare. They knew it's eternal. They knew it's a fire that doesn't go out even when distance tries to blow against it. This love is a certainty that no matter the time, no matter the space, the path will always lead back to each other. That is what kept them steady. That is what made the longing bearable. What they felt wasn't only missing you. It was a deep need, a need to be close, a need to feel your skin, to rest their head on your chest, to hear your heartbeat, the rhythm that calms storms inside them. They didn't only want conversation. They didn't only want a message. They wanted closeness that heals. They wanted the kind of presence that makes everything inside the body finally relax. Because your absence didn't feel like empty space. It felt like the absence of something essential, like part of them was far away, waiting for the right moment to reunite. Thoughts ran wild while the world slept. They wished time could bend. They wished distance could dissolve like mist. They wished they could reach you and touch you beyond imagination. And inside them lived an unshakable belief. You are not just two passionate hearts. You are part of the same story. You are intertwined threads in something greater than your current circumstances. And that belief transformed longing into strength. It turned missing into hope. It turned restless eyes into a silent promise that the union is not a fantasy, but a future. Every minute they stayed awake was like an unspoken confession, a whisper sent to the universe. They didn't need to speak out loud. They didn't need to write messages to prove anything. Their love itself was speaking in the silence. It expanded. It reached. It moved like a prayer through darkness, hoping to touch you wherever you were. They closed their eyes and wished deeply that you would feel them, because this love knows no boundaries. It crosses time and space. It pushes through doubts and fears. It stays firm like a flame that refuses to die. While everything around them remained still, their heart kept burning. Not a common love, not a shallow love, but a fire that burns without destroying. A heat that lights even the coldest nights. It wasn't only longing, it was the desire to live this love completely, to stop settling for dreams, to stop surviving on memories, to finally experience the real thing. They know true love doesn't weaken with absence. It intensifies. It becomes clearer. It becomes louder in the heart. And yes, there were moments when the longing felt almost painful, not as suffering, but as proof. Proof that this is real. Proof that this is immense. Proof that your connection is not something they can turn off like a switch. The bed felt too big. The pillow pressed against their chest didn't replace your warmth. The space beside them stayed empty, and that emptiness kept confirming what they already know. You are not just a person they like. You are not just a chapter. You are not just a moment. You feel like a missing piece, a perfect fit, a certainty that distance cannot erase.